friends, welcome back to the channel. It's Francesca. Today's celebrity reading is for Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. It is a requested reading. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and if you like the video at the end, go ahead and click the like button. So I'm going to start the reading how I typically do, which is describing the celebrity couple's purpose together. And then I'm going to move towards how they feel and then what's going to transpire in their future. Okay, so between J-Lo and Ben Affleck, I do see that their sole purpose together is to actually overcome secrets, is to also overcome any sort of power games. Ultimately, they're meant to end up choosing each other due to other disturbances. So their connection is meant to go through several disruptions and several delays and setbacks. This was ultimately meant to teach them about their ability to take action towards what they desire, and also what they truly value, and what they're most attracted to, and how they're willing to actually make it work in the midst of complications and other people. So they are soulmates, and I do see that part of their contract is for marriage. Part of their contract is to also generate and manifest abundance. This connection here was also meant to help them overcome any sort of vanity or any sort of conditioning when it comes to trust issues, or potentially unconsciously sabotaging the connection due to being disloyal or unstable in relationships. This connection was also meant to help them get awakened, make them go through massive transformations, so they could change their old ways. They could have potentially both been very impatient in their relationship that led them both to lack common sense, or just instability and being unskilled in having a typical relationship. So that's why they didn't last in the past. So their path was meant to make them go through several changes together, transformations, spiritual awakenings, epiphanies through pain, which was meant to trigger their ego so they can focus on themselves for a while, potentially other couples for a while, so they can have a makeover in their love. So their connection entirely is meant to make them go through many repetitive cycles of failure in order to overcome feeling like disqualified when it comes to dating, and actually negotiate to create a win-win outcome in their connection, right? So their partnership, I do see that they do have past lives together as well. Their partnerships consist of a lot of action and drive. They have a lot of intense chemistry. Their connection focuses a lot on generating a lot of structure. Their connection, though, does have some karma, which was other people that did have the key to their heart. So there was a lot of upheavals, disorder. Their connection went through a lot of unwelcome change and disruptions, but ultimately this was meant to make them redefine what was important to them. They were also meant to overcome replaying old events of their past to actually focus on the present moment. They never really let go of each other either. They were meant to also help each other develop their action orientated aspects, so their yang energy, and really push them to pursue their goals. So whether they were separated, I am seeing in separation, the desire to be together was like the fuel that really led them to accomplish a lot of things. So it was due to jealousy and due to the separation that led them to become better You know, it was the separation that fueled them with power. And ultimately, they were meant to face their fears in this connection. They were also meant to face the divided loyalty. So at one point they felt as though they were they felt like they were meant to be loyal to other people. They were meant to like face their fears when it came to decision making in this connection, which was meant to make them develop strong judgments and be cooperative, especially when it came to other people. Like they were meant to strengthen their decision making and redefine that as well, and also develop their peacemaking skills with each other and also with others when it came to potentially giving other people closure. But this connection ultimately was meant for them to expand and overcome any past life baggage that they do have. So let's go ahead and see how they think and feel and what's going on in their connection. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and move on to what's going on between JLo and Ben Affleck. So currently they're actually overcoming a life lesson, and they're actually completing it with a lot of triumph and success. I do see that they're overcoming areas in their life where there could have been a little bit self-indulgence, stubbornness, or some sort of jealousy, potentially coming from JLo, and then the stubbornness coming from Ben. So they're navigating this situation in a very peaceful and loving manner, especially because they have a lot of wisdom from what they've learned from their past, but also the people around them seem to be very aware of how they navigate their connection. So they seem to have a lot of support around them that's actually helping them maneuver their relationship very well. So I do see them completing some sort of cycle that in the past they could have like abandoned connection, or this was like a pattern that kept repeating, and now they're navigating it in a way where they're not wanting to be the last one standing, because they were conditioned to potentially walking away from each other when this pattern emerged. But now it seems as though they're actually releasing the pain when this pattern is emerging. So I am seeing the pattern has a lot to do with moral conditioning. It has a lot to do potentially with Ben Affleck's mindset revolving around his lifestyle and his habits, and then like his position and his role with JLo. It also has to do a lot with like how their career kind of like mixes up with their professional achievements and their reputation, and how it's infusing with their life direction. So ultimately what I am seeing is that they're abandoning their old way of thinking when it comes to dealing with communicating about issues, especially about this one topic that I see revolving around Ben's lifestyle or Ben's mannerism. Ben seems to be someone that's very cool, detached. He's very honest. He's someone that sometimes can be very like clinical or detached, right? And in the past, this could have thrown off JLo, because JLo can sometimes be kind of like sensitive, or like, her needs aren't met the way he communicates, but now she knows how to navigate this situation with him. So it's like they're discarding their old way of thinking. Like they have like outdated thinking that they're releasing. And because they're withdrawn from like responding in that way. So I do see them overcoming a lot of like old sadness, old ways of cynical thinking, and they're actually now in a lot of joy. I do see them being celebrated a lot, gaining a lot of recognition, achieving a lot of adoration from other people. But I am seeing that currently one of them is needing to step up. I'm seeing that this is Ben needing to step up and take the lead to avoid recklessness. So there's an aspect of potentially Ben needing to take power when it comes to discarding an old way of being. So I am seeing that Ben potentially may like the nightlife, he may like to gamble, or he may like to take risk with his health potentially. So JLo is at a position where she's not, it's not that she doesn't want him to live his life or have fun, but she's at a point where like she may want him to see his habits as something that may not be helpful for their life direction, especially that now they're married, now they have this everlasting love. So he's now breaking down his old conditioning about his old lifestyle and now actually compromising with her and taking charge of his destiny with her. So he's being bold to actually face his emotions and face potentially the clashing of perspectives when it comes to his lifestyle, and he's being bold to make the first move to actually agree, right? Instead of being the last one that's standing, instead of trying to have the upper hand or refusing to compromise, I'm seeing he's choosing love instead of control. He's choosing love instead of fear. And this is amazing because this is something that they've actually been needing to overcome. This is actually going to help them expand and create a lot of optimism and get rid of a lot of pride and density that was in between their connection. So they're being very patient, very loving, and yeah, very determined to create a very conventional, stable connection here. So this is incredible. Let's see what's going to transpire in their future. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and elaborate what's going to transpire between JLo and Ben Affleck's future. So I am seeing, I'm just going to cut right to it, they are going to stay together, but they are going to go through some upheavals and challenges that may involve media manipulation or distortion revolving around rumors or gossip. It won't be true, and I am seeing that what's going to end up happening in their connection moving forward is that they're going to begin to become more disciplined in their love and also in harnessing the responsibility and providing emotional security in their connection. So they're going to work a lot on releasing control, being more vulnerable, being really ambitious about being intentional in their connection, and being very disciplined about setting their mind to whatever they are intending to do. So regarding relationship goals, expanding themselves, I do see them traveling a lot in their relationship, but also traveling by like literally like mentally traveling, like consciously expanding their consciousness on a deeper level, like visiting new aspects of their mind and reaching higher levels of consciousness, because through this healing and this love, they're actually going to be going through many changes, liberation, renewals, endings of the old self, new beginnings of the new self, that's gonna honestly help them develop a higher sense of awareness and a higher mind. So they're gonna go through major transformation and ego deaths together. That's gonna bring them into a state of serenity, renewal, and rejuvenation together. I do see them also deepening their philosophy together, or potentially learning new things, like creating meaning out of life, deepening potentially their religion or their teaching or their education. Ultimately, they're going to both be able to also overcome old conditioning and outdated thinking, especially when it comes to jealousy, and also when it comes to caring about what other people think. This may be from JLo's end as well. They're going to be very ambitious and overcoming any sort of like drama and being leaders in their connection, being very proud, moving forward in the connection. The connection will be tested with rumors. It may also be tested with temptation, but they're not going to fall back. I do see potentially some of their past people potentially like testing them in the future, and they're not going to fall for it. They're going to be really connected by their connection. They're going to be really connected with their connection by faith. So like whatever they're going to be like learning, practicing, or like focusing on when it comes to their religious beliefs or any philosophy, that's what's really going to help them like harness this connection. And they're also going to be going through a lot of confidence. Like they're gonna be feeling very confident, honoring this connection, very dignified, and just loving the limelight when it comes to being that couple. Like they're gonna generate so much happiness and success that even if there are naysayers or haters, like they're gonna easily combat them due to their ambitious love. I do also see that there's gonna be at a certain point where, you know, there may be fear or ego issues that may come up. Potentially one of them unconsciously self-sabotaging the connection because they may second guess themselves. So they're going to try to overcome feeling like domineering or excessive when it comes to being cynical, and really being daring when it comes to maintaining that open communication, right? So that's really what they're going to work on, is that teamwork, and determined to remain committed to being cooperative with each other. Like that's what I mainly see. I also do potentially see J-Lo getting pregnant, so this can be within 1 or 2 years. I am picking up it maybe in 2023 or the year after. And ultimately what they're mainly going to be working on, like I said, is their communication, really developing a concrete conscious mind, and it's going to be their minds that are really going to strengthen their communication skills and develop this strong bond that's going to overcome jealousy, haters, and any sort of old conditioning that once kept them from repeating old cycles of failure. So ultimately they're going to be completing a life lesson together and staying together, hopefully till death do its part, right? And yeah, so that's about it for J-Lo and Ben Affleck. If you guys want a part 2, let me know. And if you want a personal reading, you can go to consciousfultarot.com. You could also check me out on TikTok or Instagram. Alrighty, bye my star friends. Take care.